looks like we are live on Facebook.
Yeah, we are.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna real quickly just go ahead and play our little theme real quick. All right, guys, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and this is FilmFave, and we've got we're going to party this evening. I am Shannon, the CEO and founder of FilmFave, and I am so looking forward to this, guys, because I have read all about Worst Laid Plans, and I'm just giddy. Can you tell? I'm just like.
Giddy's good.
He's great, right?
I think we're giddy too. We can't wait.
I know.
Started.
I bet. I can't even imagine it. And it looks like you guys are going to be able to film after the whole release of COVID. People will hopefully be vaccinated by then, and things will be a little bit more comfortable. Are you feeling good about it, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot better. I think most of us are kind of aiming for, summer, early fall for shooting. So yeah, I mean, I would guess a lot of people will be vaccinated. I mean, we're ready to push forward safely either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's sort of the mindset I think we're all in. We're probably late summer. I think a lot of us are shooting, or some of us, and hopefully things will be better in a few months.
Yeah. Feeling good.
I can't imagine the people who were shooting like last summer even, and how difficult that must have been. But fingers crossed, everything is a lot better.
Well, let me go ahead and just kind of get right into things. I want to tell our people, we have some people joining us right now, and I wanted to tell them a little bit about what Worst Laid Plans is. And it's a feature film anthology of 5 tales of a vacation gone horribly wrong. And it's based on the book from Grindhouse Press, which I am familiar with Grindhouse Press. They got some good stuff. I love Grindhouse, first of all. That's my jam, man. So the book Worst Laid Plans is available on Amazon for Kindle and paperback. And I actually ordered mine today because I am that excited for you guys. I'm really super excited.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So I love how you guys are going about this anthology, where you're going to separate 5 directors that are going to be directing certain parts of each individual film or tale or anthology. Can I say it that way? Does that work?
Yeah. It's 5 different directors with 5 different stories from the book, and they're all going to come together and hopefully scare the crap out of some people.
Well, it looks like so today we are here with Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
Vanessa Wright. She is going to be directing Caught at a Glimpse. And Vanessa is an award-winning filmmaker and screenwriter, and has written and directed several short films, including a fully authorized Stephen King short film called Rainy Season, which I saw, and oh my God. We'll get on that later. And then I want to... enjoyed it. It was so cool. I also want to introduce Michael. Please don't let me butcher your last name.
No worries at all.
Big deal. It's a big deal to me. People mispronounce my first name, which is crazy.
It comes with the territory. It's Escobedo is how you pronounce it, or how I pronounce it.
Escobedo. Did I say it right?
Yep, that works.
Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, I'll call you Michael. How's that?
That's perfect.
So Michael's going to be directed Unkindly Girls, which is a very interesting title. All of these titles are really kind of interesting and exciting. And from what I've read, Michael's an editor and producer, and he's known for The Daughter of Virtue, which I saw the trailer for, which we're going to share with you guys later. Mm-hmm. Murder Manual and Forbidden Attraction, which is, you guys have got like a anthology of horror collection.
Yeah. It's funny. Forbidden Attraction is a feature I did. It's actually, that's like the foreign title. I wonder why I'm not sure why IMDb changed that. The original title is Dark Woods.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
When it was released in foreign markets, they changed it to Forbidden Attraction, and now they just, for some reason, switched it out.
IMDb's been doing that a lot lately. I've noticed that they've been changing actors' titles and doing all kinds of stuff. And anyway, we go to.
And it's hard to change stuff. And another weird story with that is with Dark Woods is if on a couple sites like on iTunes and whatever, it lists the director as some Danish director who also directed a title called.
You're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? That's a crazy thing, because I've noticed like even actors have been taken off films and the director said I didn't do that. I don't know who did it, but apparently like fans can come in there and actually change data. I'm not sure.
I reached out to them to try and change it and never heard anything, and nothing I can do. So
the exciting thing is we're hoping that we're really hoping that's what FilmFave will solve. So let me introduce Jeremy, the Hawaiian shirt king, man.
Hello, everybody. The rumors are true.
Yes. The rumors are true. Jeremy Herbert, is that correct? Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay. Is a talented writer and editor and director, and he's known for several films. And he's the writer for The Things with Glowing Green Eyes, which I thought was pretty. I saw the little clip of it there, and we're going to share that with our fans later. Oh my God, that was really cute. It was pretty cool. I would love to see that movie. You have to let me know where I can see it if I can, because that looks.
Yeah, I'll provide the top secret link after this.
Secret, super secret.
Yeah, right. In an envelope. You have to burn it afterwards.
I will, in your honor, for my home. I appreciate it. And then also you're known for Beecher's Gate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and The Childish Thing and The Killer Deal. It's like awesome. I've always felt that writing horror is very difficult. So that I have felt and trying to see. I'm also a filmmaker, but I'm just like a hobbyist more. And this is why I've built FilmFave, is because I love filmmakers, other filmmakers, and I know writing is, and I think you're all writers, right? You've all worked in writing and stuff like that, and I just think horror is so very difficult to write for. So I applaud you for that. That's a great catalog to have.
Well, thank you.
So guys, let's go ahead and just share the Indiegogo. Okay, so excuse me, I'm bouncing around here. Worst Laid Plans is actually on Indiegogo, and excitingly, you guys, within 22 days left of funding, you've reached your goal, but you haven't stopped there. So if people are looking to fund a really cool film, the more money, the better these films will be. So they haven't closed the doors. Get in on that. It's on Indiegogo, and it's called Worst Laid Plans. And FilmFave, as of tonight, will be funding also some of that part. We're going to take part in that funds too, and we're going to make sure we get in there. So let's go ahead and share the trailer for Worst Laid Plans, and then we'll ask some questions. And if we hope that if there's any fans out there that like to ask any questions and comment, we will definitely will answer them all. Looks like we've already got 10 comments already here.
Nice.
Before we get started, let's see if there's anything I can add here. Let's see. Chrissy says hi. Yay. She's a big fan of Grindhouse. Here's Christopher. The anthology is going to be badass. So love his profile pic right there, right?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Rick Sierra's here. He said, hey.
Hello, Rick.
All right. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get that trailer in here real quick. I'm going to share that, and let's get that going. Worst Laid Plans on Indiegogo.
Hey there, Nathan Ludwig with the GenreBlast Film Festival. I'm its founder and director. I'm also the executive producer of Worst Laid Plans, and I'm happy to announce that the GenreBlast Film Festival is evolving, and we have now set up GenreBlast Films, and Worst Laid Plans is going to be that first film under the banner GenreBlast Films.
Hi, my name is Samantha Koyasnik, and I am the director of the segment entitled You've Been Saved. It is adapted from the short story written by author S.E. Howard.
I'm Jeremy Herbert, and I'll be adapting my own short story from the Worst Laid Plans anthology, Taylor Family Vacation 93.
I'm Vanessa Wright. I'm directing the segment Caught a Glimpse based on the story written by Patrick Lacey.
Hello, my name is Michael Escobedo, and I'm the writer and director for Unkindly Girls, which is a short story written by Haley Piper.
Hello, my name is John Hale, and I will be directing the segment Deep in the Heart, written by Waylon Jordan.
I'm really looking forward to this project and being a part of this amazing team of filmmakers and writers and really bringing these stories to life.
I've been covering early 90s Orlando history, theme parks and all for a while now. I've been fascinated by it since I was small enough to cameo in some of the home videos that inspired the short story. I have the souvenirs to prove it.
And it explores the dual nature of conformity, both the beguiling aspects of conformity and then also the sinister side of conformity as well.
So Waylon Jordan's story, Deep in the Heart, touches on a lot of issues dealing with acceptance and being oneself, while also having one of my favorite genre elements, which would be involving creatures.
When I first read the short story, I was immediately taken with it and knew I had to get behind the camera for this one.
I know that if you support this campaign, that we're going to bring you one of the most unique horror anthologies that you've ever seen.
We need the arts now more than ever, and we're asking for your support to help us make this film.
The subject matter is very near and dear to my heart, and with your help, I'd love to bring a piece of it back to life.
I'm also thrilled and excited to be a part of this extraordinary group of filmmakers working to bring this collection of short films to you. So I would just like to thank you for all of your help in helping us get across the finish line on this one. Thank you.
So make sure that you donate to this venture, because you're not going to want to be left out once the dust is settled. This is going to be an event film for horror fans, anthology fans, fans of fun genre cinema. This is it.
Wow. Wow. Man, I am so excited about this. I can't wait to get my book. Wow. I don't even I'm just so blown away. And it really feels like you guys have got a real passion for each one of your stories. Were you allowed to choose what story you wanted to do, or did they kind of direct that to you? Was it what were you allowed to choose that? Was it GenreBlast Films that did that, or?
Yeah, so Samantha actually had come to all of us, I don't know in what order, with this idea, and basically, it was kind of like, hey, read the book, read the stories, see if you connect with any of them. And that's kind of at least how it was for me. And I, finished the book, strangely enough, in 2 days, which I'm a really slow reader. So that was I was on it. And I mean, Caught a Glimpse, to me, I kept going back to it. And I was like, I hope no one else wants this one, because I'll fight for it.
And I know that Jeremy was saying that he really connected with that story. Did all of you find a little piece of your soul in the story, and that's kind of where you were at, or how did you connect with your stories, if I can ask?
Yeah, for me personally, we all got to choose what story we were going to do. For my story personally, I connected with. I think I was first connected with the tone. There was something about Haley's writing that really it felt like the mood of the story, the atmosphere it provoked it felt right for me. Like it was something I was immediately drawn to.
Right.
And I could see the story, expanding to something on screen.
Awesome. What about you, Jeremy?
Full disclosure is a pretty easy decision for me because it was my story. I'm assuming had I told Sam like there's another one I want to do, there would have been no problem with it. But from the start, it was sort of a question of do I want to do something else with it? And once I talked it out and realized like, yeah, this could be done because the scope of mine is the challenge. What drew me to it in the first place, which is, as I said in the video, so you hear me say it in another Hawaiian shirt now. It's pulled straight from the home videos of my youth and my dad filming them, and things like that. So the story is personal to me, and then the movie arguably is even more personal to me because now I'm having to recreate 90s home videos.
Yeah. Wow. Because I noticed yours is called, sorry, I was going to make sure I get it completely right. It's Taylor Family Vacation 93. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming it sets back in the 1993, of course. And
it is.
And the title sounds very interesting. What can y'all tell me about your films without reading the book yet? Or is there anything you can let us in on or catch a glimpse of, maybe?
I see what I did. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely share some information without spoiling it. My segment basically is about a guy who's needing a break from family life. He's married, has young children, so he tells a little bit of a white lie, I guess, to get out of traveling with them. And what happens is once he's home alone, he notices a very seductive new neighbor, if you will, kind of sneaking into his yard and skinny dipping in his pool. And he watches her and he ends up seeing a little too much. And there is a consequence for this.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
What about you guys?
Yeah, mine is about, and I think what I connected to this with is the protagonist in the story, is a teenager, late teens, whatnot, and it sort of, it made me reminisce about myself going on vacation with my family and things like that of that nature, meeting people or befriending others. And so this story is about a girl who's on vacation and meets another vacationer who she befriends and gets drawn into this this friendship with her, but starts to realize that beginning this friendship with her endangers the friend.
Yeah.
And she realizes that this new friend is in danger. So that's all I'll say right now for it. But I think I was just really drawn to that aspect of it, and it felt really nostalgic for me. And that was a sort of theme that I really want to dive into.
Right. What about you, Jeremy?
With the story itself, way back when it was still just a story, I had the hook before I had the ending. And the hook is just kind of Hitchcock. It's, what if someone's on vacation, they're the family videographer, and they start to notice someone recording things when they don't have the camera. So it's things only they would see go wrong.
Right.
And what if they then try to figure out who it is and solve the crime, as it were. And then Wolf Stahl, who's my co-writer on most of my movies, he actually helped come up with the ending of the story. And then like a full year later almost, when the movie came about, I asked him, can you help me break this down? So mine, what you can kind of be excited about is hopefully along those lines. It is sort of a Hitchcockian thriller until it isn't. And that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you very much for that. I know that was probably very hard to not spill the beans too much. So I know you guys will do an amazing job with these films. I'm so looking forward to it. What is your approach to an anthology like this? How would you, for other filmmakers out there, how would you say that you got started, or how are you planning to start moving forward with this, especially with COVID? I'm sure that all of that kind of changes the rules a bit for you. Anybody want to chime in for that one?
Yeah, I guess as far as the approach, it's been really organized well. So, once the crowdfunder is complete and finalized, everyone, we're splitting the money equally 5 ways. And then each filmmaker is actually responsible 100% for, filming their segment. Obviously we're all staying in contact with one another and communicating, which is nice. But yeah, we're kind of going to be on our own doing each thing, and then they'll come together once production is complete.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Are y'all helping each other in any way, as far as like maybe helping on another person's film, or are you like just kind of handing off the work to each other as far as that's concerned? Or
I don't know if anybody, if there's any crossover yet. It's definitely been offered. Obviously we may run into something and be like, crap, I need a guy in a Hawaiian shirt.
And I think there'll be
we all need a guy in a Hawaiian
shirt. I might need an effects person, and I'll get recommendations from people, or
right,
because we're all spread out. I mean, Michael,
states.
You're in Indiana, right?
I'm in Indiana.
Jeremy's down in Florida. I'm in Georgia. Sam is in Pennsylvania, and John is
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
No, if I say it, then it won't happen. Okay, good.
Look at the light.
That could have gone bad.
Well, it's a good topic for a horror film, as we were talking earlier. We have a question from Chrissy Watts. Do you all plan on making any anthologies, or do you prefer the one story film? Are you going to be making any anthologies yourself, or I think that's what that means.
Good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I there's no plans on my part. I have this on deck right now. I think it's the one thing I love about filmmaking, and it's why I really am in it, is I love working with people. Surprisingly, I'm kind of an introverted guy, but the aspect of filmmaking I love the most is working with costume people and composers and cinematographers and producers. That's to me the most fun part. So I mean, anthologies are awesome, I think. So I would always be up for an anthology. Just want to continue to keep making films.
Yeah, I'm really starting to get into anthologies. There's a film that's been running the trade market called Bad Candy, which was really good. I saw it at a film festival. I thought that was pretty amazing. And it's and then also Creep Show and stuff like that. I, especially when they bleed into each other, like they have a really good story, and then you go, or like at the end they're all connected, or there's something like they pass the baton in the story.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, that guy was in that story, and that guy was almost like American Horror Story-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I love that. I love that. Do you think there might be any kind of storytelling crossovers in this? I haven't read the book yet, so
probably not within the individual segments. And I don't know if there is a plan to connect to them with like a rap or anything, but I mean,
we'd probably need to raise another $1,000 or something.
I think right now we're just all worried about the segments,
right?
And once we need to glue them together, that's more of a question.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Well, you guys still have 20 days left on your Indiegogo?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time to make that happen, right?
There is, yes. And there's all kinds of fun perks and really kind of neat, unique things to get.
And the great thing about this is that it goes from like the $5 to $10, if you just have to stay in budget and just want to give what you can, and all the way up to the high spender and really want to make it something special and getting credits and stuff like that in the film. I think that's really exciting. That's a great way to give back to the film community too. Let's see. I have Chris Warner here. Wanted to ask a quick question. Ooh, do any of y'all have a favorite anthology?
Oh, I always get so stumped on the fit because I'm like, there's so many movies. I really do love Creepshow. I mean, I saw it when I was younger. It's nostalgic. It's fun. I also really liked the Tales from the Dark Side anthology.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I need to see like some newer ones because I haven't. I haven't seen a lot that have come out like in the last 5 or 10 years. I always go to the really old ones because I'm like, oh, comfort. But those are definitely two of my favorite.
It was something about Tales of the Dark Side that I knew. I was scared from the point of hearing that theme song. There's something about that theme song that was just so scary. It was probably even to me as a young child was scarier than the actual story. But anyway, what about you guys? What is your favorite anthology?
I actually myself, I haven't actually really watched that many recently. A lot of the stuff, I think, like Vanessa as well. I watched old stuff growing up. What was the desert one? The Southwest desert one. What was that called?
Is it Southbound?
Southbound, yeah, that one. I watched that one.
I've seen that.
And that
the Twilight Zone movie was a good one too.
And I watched the first VHS. Enjoyed both of those. With Southbound, I loved how I love the connectedness of all the stories. And they were all pretty cool. And with VHS, the concept of the VHS and everything was awesome too. So I enjoyed those.
Awesome. What about you, Jeremy?
I came prepared. My answer is Cat's Eye. No question.
Nice. That's really good. That's great.
How did you get to prepare?
I know, right?
That was on accident.
I think that was my fault. So that's exciting. There was the one episode in the Twilight Zone that still to this day was the very first one with the alien on the plane on the wing. That was probably the very first one. Was the one that I will never forget. And the other one was the child that could control things with his mind.
Oh yeah, that one really freaked me out.
Yeah, that was the rabbit.
The episode "It's a Good Life."
Which one?
Is the name of that episode "It's a Good Life"?
I think you might be right.
Wow,
that sounds familiar.
Wow, look at you! You have a memory. I can't even remember.
I could be dead wrong.
Or are you Googling?
I think it's a good life.
Trivia question. That's great. Awesome. Okay, I think we have another question here. Let's see. Pamela White. In a perfect world, when would you hope to release the film, and what will your platform be?
This film, as far as I know, the plans are to have it ready to go, I believe, next spring.
The next festival.
Wow.
Yeah, so like a year from right now. Platform, I don't know what the distribution plans are. I do know that they want to hit a couple of festivals with this, but I don't know what the big. Do you guys? I don't know. I don't know what the big plan is.
Well, I think
I don't know what the big plan.
Usually they decide the
We're not in charge.
Ideally, you want to get into or playing a festival in a nice theater. Always watching your film on a big screen is it's kind of magical. Although I think it's more fun to watch other people's movies. Like I actually can't stand to watch. A lot of people probably feel this way, like watching your own stuff.
The nice thing is each of us gets to watch 80% of a movie when this is done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Johnny Depp has never seen any of his own films. He's never seen anything.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, I think
I respect that.
Really difficult to to watch my own, which is weird because I go to the festivals and you want to see it just because you put a lot of work into it, and it's an accomplishment in and of itself that there's people sitting down who want to watch it.
Right.
And that's sort of the goal of why you're doing it. But I personally just cringe. It's like a big cringe fest watching my own stuff.
Looks like we lost sound on Vanessa real quick.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us, Vanessa? Okay, I think we lost some sound on you. Oh
no. Can you hear me and Jeremy?
What about now?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There we go.
I touched something. No, I was saying
that happened to me when I touch things.
I love to watch, like, I won't watch necessarily my film at a fest. I like to be in there and kind of watch the audience and see like how people are reacting. Because by the time it plays, I mean, you've seen it a gazillion times. And so, but I think, man, if you don't do that, you miss out on all that energy and just, it's so good. And it's nice to see how stuff lands with audiences. Cause I'm always like, okay, they laughed there and that was not funny.
Yeah.
So
that was not
that.
That happened to me actually.
But it's like, to me, I think it's like, oh my God, that's just invaluable.
Yeah.
I thought Green Eyes is a comedy. I thought I completely destroyed it until the first screening, and then people laughed. I'm like, thank God. I was so sure until I actually played it.
Oh no, you so got it right. I love that movie.
Okay, let's see. We have a couple of comments I want to make sure we share. Christopher Moore here has a question. Any personal horror stories from vacations past? Good question. Good question.
I
mean, really help you in your filmmaking.
To what level? I mean, I've never come in contact with any sort of creature, monster, or killer.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure something scary or unfortunate has happened, but nothing I mean, I'm scared of everything. So, I don't know. If a bee got in a tent, forget it. Then vacation's ruined. I'll never camp again.
Not that it matters for me and my point, but I got stuck in Hurricane Matthew in Florida. And I was with my kids, and that was probably
scary.
It was very scary.
That's legit scary.
The eye was coming over us where we were, and it was either jet for it or go to Orlando. And I was just too worried that we were going to get stuck in traffic to get back to Georgia. So we went to Orlando and waited out the hurricane. But thank God it all ended up okay. But that was pretty scary. My daughter was crying the whole way. It was, but anyway, I was just sharing that. But what about you guys, Michael, Jeremy?
Me personally, no horror stories. I had one weird thing. Like, I was really young and my family was staying like in an extended stay hotel. I don't know if we were on vacation though. I don't think we were. It might have been for my dad's work and we were there for like a month or something. But I must have been like 3 or 4. And I think it was in Washington State. Could be wrong. But anyways, or North Carolina or something like that. We were staying at this hotel.
Which one?
It was in the U.S. And there was this tower that had a fallen tower outside of this hotel, like, across the way in a yard in front of the hotel. There was a bunch of weeds and all that stuff. And there used to be a legend that there was a girl who was crushed under the tower. Some girl was killed when the tower fell on her. That she would, like at midnight, come and knock on the doors. And one night, me and my brother heard this knock on the door, and like the next day or something, there was like a dent in the door, like a knuckle dent. I have to go talk to my brother about this again.
Wow, that's scary.
That's my memory of the events that happened. Like, I think like we were both freaked out because we heard this knock really late at night.
And then there's a dent.
Yeah, that's my recollection. But the whole thing, am I making this up because I was a kid, or did it really happen? I gotta find that out. That was one of my earliest memories as a kid too. From that age range, like 3, 4 years old.
Oh wow!
That's probably why it prepped me to really like horror. Just kind of being exposed into that. But I remember just being freaked out about the idea that some girl was killed under this tower.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That
is scarier than a bee in the tent.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Jeremy? You got any horror stories?
I have a decent number of ghost stories from vacation because we like to take whatever the local ghost tour is and then just start to poke around after that, to our own detriment. But I think the most immediate and personal vacation horror story was the last morning of a cruise. We just got back, and the night before they had like an all-you-could-eat buffet of the richest food of the entire cruise, and I ate more than I ever have before or since, and we hit the choppiest waters overnight. And so I woke up and I stood up, and the ship wouldn't stop spinning. And it was food based. No one get me wrong. Sickest I can remember being, and I then had to get off the ship, navigate my way off the ship, and bluff through customs so that they would not quarantine me because of some suspected tropical disease.
Right.
And then the second I got to the car, I just laid down and stared at the ceiling, and that was that. But that was as tense as a cruise could have ended.
Oh man, that is scary. Oh,
that's like my personal nightmare. I have passed on cruises before because of my fear of that stuff like that, like getting seasick and.
It's rough.
Happens.
I mean, I've been on one since and it was fine, but that was my first and it was bad. It was bad.
I've been on 3. I've gotten sick on 3, so I do not plan on a 4th.
Yeah, that's fair.
Byron, since you all are from different states, do you see COVID rules interfering with your plans since some states are more open than others?
I don't think it'll interfere. I think everybody will just have to kind of comply with whatever their state's guidelines are. And then on top of that, I think it's up to every filmmaker to decide what's going to be the safest practices on their set.
Right.
I mean, is everybody's open? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know how things are in Georgia, but like, how are things where you guys are?
I mean, Indiana is pretty open. We're all in states with Republican governors right now, so things are pretty open. Compared to like maybe California or whatnot. Things have been pretty open in Indiana for a while. So I don't foresee it being a huge. I mean, just with like masks and social distancing and not being up in everyone's grill, but
right, no close talking.
Speaking of which, has COVID kind of given you any horror story ideas?
I don't want to touch it. That's really the takeaway for me.
Like, I was. How many are there gonna be? I agree.
I think there needs to be some time for it to sort of digest, and maybe in 5 years, it'll come out. I think there's probably some out there, and maybe everyone's just sick of it right now that they don't want to watch it. But
I mean, we're gonna watch them when we go on the circuit with this movie. We have to accept that.
Oh, for sure.
They'll be there.
I mean, there was already that one movie that was like a Zoom horror. Was it Host?
Oh yeah,
which was really good. And that one,
I like that one.
Yeah, it freaked me out.
Host.
Oh yeah, I did watch that. That was really scary. It scared me.
I liked it a lot.
Oh, yeah. I screamed out loud. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah, I was. I was like, I was don't go anywhere.
Yeah, because the whole time you're watching a movie like that, you're looking at the background to see if anything's coming towards them. Like you're just waiting for something to like happen behind them. And it's such a perfect set up for tension.
Yeah,
it was
they hit it at the right time with the use of that technology and framing it in the free Zoom account length, and like it was a clever way to just jump on it and do it, because I mean you can only do that once, and then it's like we've seen that.
And they delivered early too, while people were in lockdown. I think that had a lot to play on it too.
Absolutely.
Because I had already watched Schitt's Creek like twice, so I was ready for some new content.
That'll be a question later. So if you want to prepare for that one, is what is your ultimate film fave? But we'll come back to that one. We got a couple questions real quick, and then I definitely want to hear some of y'all's work, because y'all are very talented. I want people to really go out there and seek some of your work, because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all of y'all already. So I've known Vanessa for a while. I'm just now meeting Michael and Jeremy, and you've got me as a fan now too. So I'm a fangirl. You're welcome. Okay, so let's see. More COVID questions. I know we'll probably let's go back to those if that's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Your call.
Alyssa, Lisa did say that they're open completely in Texas, so you could all go to Texas if you run into any problems.
Well, my effects artist is coming in from Texas, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pamela, approaching people asking for crowdfunding contributions. The most common question I get is, will we ever see this film? What would your response be to this question? That is a really good, I like this girl.
Yeah. Oh, she's phenomenal. Everyone grab Pam. She's my favorite. Yes. Everyone will see this film. It will be available. I guess I'm trying to like, is it kind of one of those questions where some crowdfunders don't, like it happens and then we never hear from them again? This is not that. This is going to be finished. I don't know the date of when it will be available for the public to either buy or go see, because I don't know what the distribution plans are, but when it is complete, it will be available. And there's also there's a perk. I don't remember which one is it, but it's an exclusive. You get to see it before it's released.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. And also it's going to be in film festivals too. So and you know, we are going to be all over social media with this stuff. Anytime it gets into a fest and it's playing, we're going to promote the crap out of it. Right.
And I think with this group of filmmakers, like everyone has a track record of having, made films, and I don't know if anyone's attempted a film and not completed it.
Right.
Like everyone has a track record. You can look at it on IMDb. So there's that sense of confidence and safety with that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you're giving your money to people who have produced stuff before.
Yes.
Absolutely. I do think this is another good question from Pamela. She was, again, talking about COVID. But keeping that in consideration, if film fests aren't as prolific as they have been, do you have other ideas, ways to get the film's attention? There's been a couple that have canceled. Atlanta put theirs outside. They had their film festival completely outside, which I thought was unique.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The landscape of fests and what this is going to be like moving forward, I mean, who knows? I run a fest and I've had to still push it. I've had to push it out to next March. So it's a year from now. I'd like to think that in a year from now, we're going to be in a completely, I mean, look how much happens in a year. So, if anything, I think it's just, we're going to be maybe a little bit more, not choosy, the opposite of that. Like, I think the pool will be less to kind of decide where it can go. And if festivals aren't going to be where it's at, then I mean, there's definitely going to be a distribution plan in place. But yeah, that's definitely a Nathan question. Where is he?
I think film festivals are too important a part of the ecosystem to just kind of go away.
Oh, I completely.
We all here must have stories about doing some virtual film festival, and they've been done very well you know, just as
Yeah.
engaging and trying to figure out new ways to talk to people, as if there's, you know, there's a bar like at a normal film festival. I even if the worst case scenario were to happen, there will be ways, but I trust that film festivals are bouncing back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to go back to what you said, Vanessa. Vanessa started the was a co-founder of the Women in Horror Festival, and I was there. Actually, I got engaged shortly before coming to your place, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
We were like all over the place. Hi, we love your film. We just got engaged. I was like,
what? Yeah, so that was cool.
Well, we really love your film. Thank you. You know, that's how much filmmaking means to us, that, you know, instead of, we didn't want to go out to dinner and spend time. We wanted to go to a film festival. We were like, heck yeah, that's our thing, you know?
Yeah,
so.
That's phenomenal.
So I want to share a little bit of your work because we're at the 9:15 mark. So we got about 15 minutes. Vanessa, hold on, let me just make sure. So we were talking that you're going to be directing Caught at a Glimpse, and your film is called Rainy Season. And I believe you can't really see that anywhere because it is a Stephen King film.
You have to be
onto that. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, it's. I mean, I can help people see it if somebody really wants to privately have a discussion, and
it's very ominous.
Tell them I will tell you all about it.
Yeah, you can't do anything with these Stephen King dollar babies outside of festivals. Yeah. But
I will say that I have seen it. If it's okay to say that.
Oh yeah. I mean, people, you're allowed to see it. I just can't put it out like available to the public.
Yes, I understand. And I loved it. I love it. I love your cinematography behind it was really amazing, and the framing, and that it was just really well done. Really well done.
Mark Simon was the cinematographer on that. Talk about fangirl. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to work with this guy. He's phenomenal. And that's actually, that's how I met your husband.
Oh, yes.
He was in the art department on that film. We met.
Yes, he is. He's really excited about it too. He's like, oh, I know that place. That's so cool. He's so excited.
Yeah, it was a cool location.
So if you don't mind, let's go ahead and share the trailer. At least give people a little sneak peek of that. And we'll, and if you would like to reach out to Vanessa, and she'll find a way for you to know more. How about that? Okay, enough of the winking. Rainy Season, ladies and gentlemen.
I love staying in a place with a past.
You shouldn't sleep in that house tonight.
Very cool.
Thank you.
My mute button is on. Isn't that nice? Amazing. It was really, really good, Vanessa. It's something you should really, really be proud of. Do you get to meet Stephen King in that, or?
You know, I wish. And if anyone knows him, put in a good word for me, because I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I am a constant reader, and this was the first film I directed. Really, I did stuff in school and I played around growing up, but I've been in film for 20 plus years and I've done everything else, and I finally was like, I really think I'm so drawn to it. I need to try this and see if I can do it. And I was terrified.
Cool. Yeah.
The shock of I didn't know that was your first directed film. It's very,
Yeah.
very well
I was
done.
very sweaty the whole time. It was terrifying, but I had a phenomenal
Cowboy.
team. Everyone was so supportive, and I am very proud of it. I mean, it was a true labor of love. It was hard and wonderful all at the same time.
Jason said he just did a Leonardo DiCaprio point thing, so that's
I love it.
Funny guy. I'm glad I married him. Okay, so this is exciting. So Michael, we're going to look at The Daughter's Virtue. Was done in 2017. Is that correct? And
yes.
And I just saw that Pamela said something about Rainy Season.
Sorry.
I've seen Rainy Season, and it was truly beautiful and frightening. The bonus, it felt very real. It could actually happen. I felt that way too.
I hope it does not ever happen.
It'd be a vacation horror story into the cabins.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. I did feel like it could actually happen. That's a really good way to put that. So Michael, sorry, I didn't mean to jump back and forth there, but The Daughter's Virtue was done in 2017, and the trailer is like, anyway, you have to see it for yourself. I'm just going to play it because I have so much to say about it. All right.
All right.
She's muted.
She's on mute. Yep.
It's happens.
Right? I just want to make sure that I'm not talking over it accidentally, or like I had the window anyway. I mean, I watched it, and it is a short film that is on. I'm trying to remember what was it?
Alter.
That's what I thought, but
YouTube. Yeah.
And it's about 12 minutes long. I highly recommend it. We can put the link in the comments.
Please do. Everybody needs to see this film. I went like bananas on this guy because we had played at WIF 2018, and I was such a huge fan of this movie. I probably was talking all over myself because it won an award that year, and I was just like, "So your film." It's so good.
Will you sign my shirt, Michael? It was like I watched it, and I don't want to give anything away. God, I got to be very careful. But can I say that? Maybe I'll let you say it real quick. Is there anything you want to say about it?
No, you can say whatever you want. Honestly, out in the world.
It's really scary to me. Those films that can really happen to you are what is the scariest. And it makes you feel like I got stuck in a cult at one time when I was very, very young, very, very young. And that's kind of what it felt to me. And it scared me. It's scary. Just the idea of being in this room with these women. You really, in the beginning, you don't really know who the bad guy is here. And you still, it takes you a while to figure it out. And then you just told a really good story. It was amazing. And the actresses were phenomenal. The special effects.
My God, you nailed the aesthetic. Like, it doesn't just look like a great job at making it look like it's from a different time. It looks like a film from, like the early 70s. And even I remember, like, I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, the sound design, even the sound of the way the shoes and the heels hit the floor, like that's so specific to that era. And it was like, oh my, I still get chills.
But it's funny. Like the sound was actually even sort of, I guess, degraded a bit to make it a little crunchier or a little more, not as upfront or punchy as it is, normally. So that felt a little odd doing that because when we were actually editing it, the sound was normal, and then it was you have this retro picture, but then the sound was
right,
like very modern, and so we thought well, how about my sound designer was like, why don't we try and like I can probably degrade it a little bit to make it sound from the era.
Oh, it was perfect.
So that was
and I loved, I mean, my goodness, you played so much with color and whatever.
Yeah, that was
clearly I like this movie.
I know.
It was a lot of fun. The DP Kyle, who I'm working with on Unkindly Girls again with, and I'm super excited about that. And he's just awesome. So it was so much fun working with him on Daughters, just coming up with shots and planning stuff out and just talking through the scenes of what we can do with it and watching it come to life on set. It's so much fun. And that was what I was saying in the beginning earlier, that working with people is the most fun.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons. That's why with Unkindly Girls, I'm so excited to get to work on that.
Wow. All of your films, all of y'all's. I get speechless when I get like in the room of gods of, I don't know,
What?
Okay.
I feel like we owe you money for that.
I know.
Who paid her?
No, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to read the book. So I'm like, I can't wait to see what they do with it. It's really neat to be able to read the book and then to watch what you do with this is going to be just even more exciting to me, because I love that storytelling, because directing is beyond the story that you read in the pages. It's how you should feel. And if you can't portray how you should be feeling throughout the film, then it really messes up the story. And I'm so excited about that. That's really what a director does. So, but Jeremy, so let's talk about, so I was able to catch up with The Thing with Glowing Green Eyes. So, and you were the writer on this baby, and this was
me and my buddy Wolf wrote it, yes, and then I directed it.
Yes, and I'm excited to get the chance to see that one too, because it's very Grindhouse, and I love this. It's almost like a anyway. I'm just going to play it, and then we'll talk about it.
That works.
Let's pull this baby out. The Thing with Green Eyes. Glowing green eyes.
All right, we might as well get this road on the show. And now for reading of last week's minutes. Mr. Jerry Klein brought forth a motion for a special reserved parking spot in front of the Robin's Egg Diner. The motion was voted down 3-1. Now, is there any new non-parking related business? You could just talk, it's fine.
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about the things with the glowing green eyes?
Wow, that's so cool.
I love that. Yeah.
I love that classic villain kind of protagonist. It's just like, I just love that. So, can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah, it's ostensibly a comedy. As I said, it's supposed to be a comedy. When you see it, there's a certain tonal line that it walks. I don't want to give anything away, but the Thing, like all three of the Thing movies that I mentioned there, the things are metaphors generally, and these were I tried to make these so that it worked entirely if you missed it clean, if you had no idea what that meant. And this one similarly, there are people that watched it and just thought it's a very daffy small town comedy, and that works. I'm very glad that it worked.
Yeah.
It's a little bit darker than that if you figure out what the thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't go in
that's the
expecting to be
beauty.
scared.
I think that's the beauty about it. I got to see it at GenreBlast this year, and I love it because I think the comedy works. Like you infuse it so organically into this. And yes, to me, I think it's that subtext that's just beneath it, and you just handled it perfectly.
That's exactly what I had no idea if I was doing correctly.
You did
it. Thank you.
Yeah,
you know, I'm here, so it means something. But yeah, it was a heck of a thing to try to put together. My segment in this is a lot more straightforward about the genre it's in. It has a similar subterfuge ending, but that ending is exactly my kind of wheelhouse. I like that little bit of surprise to it. Not a twist necessarily, but a surprise.
Yeah.
And the guy who asked the question in the trailer is Morgan McLeod, who will be the star of Taylor Family Vacation '93.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Speaking of casting, so do y'all have plans already for who you're going to cast in your films? Do you already know, or was that told to you, or?
No, everybody's handling their own casting, everything.
Yeah.
And I've already cast the 2 leads. I am still going through auditions for some of the supporting roles, but the 2 leads, Mike Stanley is playing the role of Alan, and then Victoria Antonelli is playing the woman.
Ooh, okay. Have you worked with him before, or?
No, actually, I've not. I've met Mike, and I got to know him through because he was in Lou Simone's couple of her films, actually. So I've just met him through that, and I've been wanting to work with him. He's a really talented guy, and I mean, he's been in my head since I read the book. I was like, okay, I'm doing this, and I gotta call Mike. And Victoria I found just through casting, and she's brilliant. She's perfect.
What about y'all? Have y'all already got your cast picked out and know where you're going?
No, myself, I'm not at that stage yet. So I do not have any cast in mind or started the process even. But you know, I'll get there soon enough. And it's gonna be. I'm excited about that too.
Auditioning and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be different. I think I've I'm living in Indiana right now, so I'm not sure how. I mean, I think I'm gonna draw from different markets maybe, and maybe obviously with COVID, do some Zoom auditions, which are strange. But it'll work itself out.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Jeremy?
Morgan's my only definite for right now. Orlando's a kind of transient market in terms of actors because of the theme park business. But we've talked to some people, so we're on our way.
Cool.
Pamela wanted to ask what was the premise of Daughters.
Oh, it's about a woman attending a prayer meeting, who they then accuse of being a demon.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I think that's
thank you. Yeah, please check it out. On the search for it on YouTube.
Yeah, they'll post the link, but I mean, you literally can just type in Daughters of Virtue. Altar will pop up and go watch it. Put it in your eyeballs.
Yes, we'll put them in the comments to make sure everybody gets them. We'll also be sharing them all week, the rest of the week. Well, tomorrow's Friday, so we will be sharing it
all day.
We're just gonna bleed it on into next week too.
Yeah.
Fun. Hey, I own this company. I can do what I want.
That's right.
Anyway, well, this has been really exciting, guys. We're after 9:30, so is there anything you want to tell us? Anything else before we leave? And
no, this has been a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you all very much for joining me. I
Thank
really,
you for
really
having
appreciate it.
us.
You
Yeah.
know,
Thank you for having us on.
yeah, you guys have a huge fan. I will be watching you very closely.
Oh.
I'm threatened.
I will not be swimming naked in your pool, though.
I also will not be swimming naked in that pool. But if anyone gets out of hand, I will push them in the pool.
Anyway.
I mean, it's Georgia. It's going to be hot. I guarantee there's going to be people in the pool.
Right? Exactly. Okay, so the movie's called Worst Laid Plans. They are going to be, it's a feature film horror anthology. It's 5 tales from 5 different directors. It is going to be killer.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody uses that. And it is an executively produced by GenreBlast Films. Did I say that right? Because I was trying to see my notes.
GenreBlast Films.
And GenreBlast Films is a film festival up in Virginia. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they just started GenreBlast Films recently. So this is going to be their first film. So this is exciting. So tell him Nathan, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell him I'm super excited and I'll be watching out for this too. So that's going to be great. All right, guys. I'm not going to keep you anymore, but thank you so much for joining us here at FilmFave. We will be supporting your Indiegogo campaign. And I have to end this with one last question.
Sure.
You knew it was coming. What is your ultimate film fave? And that's how we will leave it.
Like favorite film?
Of all time. Doesn't have to be horror. Your ultimate film fave.
No!
I'll show you mine if you can get a hint.
A Beetlejuice.
One of my favorites.
I mean, listen, someone asked me this question once, and I ended up going home and making a spreadsheet with like 20 different categories of top 10s because that's an impossible question.
We don't have that kind of time.
Good,
Of
then
time.
I will be expecting some homework later. Then you know what? I'll tell you what. Just what first comes to your head that you would recommend your child or somebody else see? Maybe it's not child. What would you recommend someone see? First close to your head.
Many of any.
Okay, I'm prepared
someone
again.
else go first.
The answer is Ghostbusters. That's it. I'm out.
Oh my gosh!
Ghostbusters?
I'm so sorry. I have to do this. Can you see that?
What are you? Okay.
What are we
What am I
looking at?
looking for?
On
Is that
the
a proton
wall.
pack on the wall?
It's a proton pack on the wall.
Nice. I've
Oh,
gone to
that's
some
cool.
screenings in gear to take pictures with people. I got some.
Oh, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I cannot wait for Afterlife to come out. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's such a tough question. I mean, there's like the films that made me, inspired me to like want to get into filmmaking. There's the ones I would say.
Okay, well, what about that? What film made you want to be a filmmaker?
Okay,
the movie
I will go with that.
I just hijacked
the
your
movie I
question.
watched where I was like, you know what?
Go ahead.
Maybe I want to try and make a movie was Casablanca.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
I watched that, and for some reason, the story just really stuck with me. I thought about it for days and days.
That's
probably
beautiful.
my favorite movie is Perfume: The Story of a Murderer.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know if you've never seen it. Watch it.
What's it called again? The story.
Perfume: The Story of a Murderer.
Okay, I'm going.
I am putting that on the list.
It's like it's a period piece, and it's an odd story, but it's I love everything about it. I think it's got the best climax of a movie ever.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Can I name like filmmakers that I love that I just can't get enough of their work? Does that
You
count?
just keep skirting the question. You made up this new question.
Oh, well, the film that made me want to be a filmmaker, honestly, was Reservoir Dogs. I was
We were just talking about that, maybe.
I was 16, and my mom was like, "Oh, there's this indie film. It's an independent film. Let's go to the Neon Movies and go see it." And I was like, "Okay." And I watched it, and I was like, that I want to do all of that. Like, I didn't know you could do that.
Right?
Without so that was it for me. I was like, I'm in. And
So
I do
have,
love
it's
Tarantino.
so funny you're mentioning that because I have this secret thing in my. I sound so lame when I say this, but you know that part where the music's playing in the background, they're all walking in suits and they're all walking down this aisle together. Like that. Do you ever walk with your friends and hear that same song in the background? You just start walking like you have style with your friends.
Yeah, I am not that cool.
Music in your
so
head.
that doesn't happen to me, but I will see other people doing it.
Just always, it's pretty bad, isn't it?
I also really love the films of Wes Anderson.
Yes, Rushmore was a huge influence.
Yes.
That was one of those that is there.
Love him. And I love Scorsese. Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
I can't name a singular film. Yeah, you answer. Say things.
Should I answer this? Okay. It's an easy answer for me, and actually, anyone paying close attention to the trailer, I named my production company after the working title of this movie, which is Blade Runner. And I watched it, and I didn't realize you could make a world in a movie before, and that just fascinated me.
It's like that's really good. That's really good.
And that's like the perfect way to say that.
Yeah,
I love that. That's going to be like
you.
the Jeremy Herbert quote.
Okay, I'll write it down. I'll keep
Please.
it on file.
Yeah. I'm going to make a bumper sticker.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're at 9:40, so I wanted just to say again, thank you so much for joining us. And if you love horror films as much as we do, then make them your film fave. Oh, see what I did there, guys? It's Worst Laid Plans. It will be coming to you soon, I'm sure. Just be patient, but it'll be at a film festival for sure. Just keep your ears to the ground, and if you want to see any of their other work, we'll be posting them throughout the rest of the week next week as well. And thank you again, guys. You have a fan for life. You have a huge fan for life.
Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.